something happened last night. Something you don't fully understand yet. While you were sleeping, while your mind was quiet, while your heart was resting, a conversation began. Not in this world. No, this was somewhere deeper. Somewhere the walls between families don't exist. Because when two souls are destined, the families can feel it before the hearts do. That's the secret they never tell you. Before you even met, their name was already on someone's lips. And now they're talking about you. They're asking questions you can't hear. They're sharing observations you never knew they made. And the strangest part? You felt it. Didn't you? That sudden warmth in your chest last Tuesday? That unexplainable nervousness before a simple phone call? That moment when you looked at your phone and somehow knew someone was thinking of you? That wasn't coincidence. That was a door opening. And on the other side, they're discussing your name. But here's what they won't tell you. What they're saying isn't what you expect. It's not about your job. It's not about your appearance. It's not about any of the things you worry about late at night when sleep won't come. They're talking about something else entirely. Something they noticed the very first time they heard about you. Before they even saw your face. Before they knew your name. They felt something. And that something is what has them whispering now. Don't skip this part. Because the next truth is the one that changes everything. You see, families notice what the heart tries to hide. They notice the shift in their loved one's voice when your name comes up. They notice the extra light in their eyes when they're about to see you. They notice the way their child says your name, like it's a prayer they just discovered. And that's when the conversations begin. But that's not all. Something else is happening right now. Something you can't see but you can definitely feel. Have you noticed? Have you noticed how certain people have started treating you differently? How some looks last a little longer? How some questions feel like they have a hidden meaning? How some silences suddenly feel heavy with things unsaid? Perhaps you thought you were imagining it. Maybe you told yourself you were overthinking. But you weren't. Those glances, those pauses, those subtle changes in tone. They're all connected. Because the family isn't just talking about you. They're watching you. They're studying how you treat strangers. They're noticing how you speak when you think no one is listening. They're remembering every small kindness. And every small moment they weren't supposed to see. This is where it gets deeper. You see, in every family, there are protectors. People whose role is to guard the heart of the one they love. And right now, those protectors are doing their work. They're watching you more closely than you realize. But here's what they want to know. It's not who you are when you're with their loved one. That part they already know. They want to know who you are when no one is watching. Because that is the truest version of you. And that truth, they're trying to find it. One more layer. One more piece that changes everything. There's someone in the family who has been unusually quiet. Someone who normally speaks their mind. Someone who normally has something to say about everything. And yet, about you, they've said nothing. Not a single word. Not good. Not bad. Not anything. And here's why that matters. That silence is not empty. That silence is full. Full of observation. Full of attention. Full of a decision that hasn't been made yet. And that person, that quiet observer. They are the gatekeeper. Their approval is the one that matters most. And right now, they're waiting. Waiting to see something. Waiting to feel something. Waiting for a sign that only they will recognize. The next part is where everything shifts. Because the family isn't just talking about you to each other. They're talking about you to themselves. In their own hearts. In their own private moments. In their own secret thoughts. They're imagining you at their table. They're imagining you in their family photos. They're imagining you as part of their story. And this imagination, it's powerful. It's shaping how they see you. It's shaping what they tell their child. It's shaping the very foundation of what's coming. But you don't know any of this yet. You're still wondering why you feel so nervous. You're still wondering why your heart beats faster when you think of them. You're still wondering if this is all in your head. It's not. This is real. This is happening. And the biggest truth is still hidden. Behind all this talk. Behind all these whispers. Behind all these quiet observations. There's one question they're all asking. One question that no one says out loud. One question that hovers over every conversation. And when you finally understand what that question is, everything will make sense. Everything will fall into place. Everything will feel like it was always meant to be. But that question is still coming. It's still forming. It's still growing in their hearts. And when they finally ask it, when they finally speak it into existence, your life will never be the same. Stay till the end. The next part is where everything changes. You're still here. Good. Because the next piece, it's the one that will make your heart pause. That question they're all asking. It's not, is this person good enough? It's not, is this person right for them? It's not even, will this person fit in? Those questions are too small. Too surface. Too safe. The question they're really asking. The one that keeps them awake at night. It's this. Will this person fight for them? Not in the loud way. Not in the dramatic way. Not in the way that demands attention. But in the quiet way. The way that stays. The way that chooses. The way that doesn't run when things get hard. Because you see, their family knows something you don't. They know what their child looks like when they're broken. They know the sound of their silence when they're hurting. They know the shape of their shoulders when they're carrying too much. And they're wondering, when they see that version of their child, will you still be there? Will you still look at them with love? Will you still hold their hand? Will you still choose them? That's what they're really talking about. That's what all those whispers actually mean. And here's the part that might surprise you. They're not asking these questions because they doubt you. They're asking because they hope. They hope you're the one. They hope you're the person who finally stays. They hope you're the person who sees the whole picture and doesn't turn away. They hope you're the person who makes their child feel safe. Really safe. The kind of safe that lets them fall apart and still feel held. But there's a problem. A hidden problem that's been building underneath everything. You might not have noticed it yet. But it's there. And it's growing. Every day you don't speak up. Every moment you hold back. Every time you choose silence instead of truth. That's the thing that's making them nervous. Because families can sense hesitation. They can feel uncertainty. They can smell fear from a mile away. And right now, they're sensing something. Something they can't quite name. Something that makes them shift in their seats. Something that makes their questions a little sharper. Something that makes their gazes a little longer. But you're still not sure what it is. Are you? One more layer. One more truth they won't tell you directly. There's a story. A story they tell each other when you're not around. A story about someone from the past. Someone who came close. Someone who almost made it. But didn't. And that story, it's like a ghost in every room you enter. They're not trying to compare you. That's not their intention at all. They're trying to protect themselves. Because that last heartbreak? It wasn't just their child who got hurt. It was all of them. It was the whole family. They felt it too. They watched their child disappear into sadness. They watched them try to smile when they didn't mean it. They watched them pick up the pieces alone. And they promised themselves, never again. So when they look at you, they're not just looking at you. They're looking at the possibility of a second heartbreak. And they're terrified. Not of you. But of what losing you might do. Of what never having you might feel like. Of what the future might hold if this doesn't work. That's the weight behind their eyes. That's the heaviness in their questions. That's the reason they're talking about you so much. Because you matter. You matter more than they can say. You matter more than they can show. And that matters, is making them nervous. Now here's the part you've been waiting for. The part that reveals something they haven't even admitted to themselves. Something happened. Something small. Something almost invisible. But something that changed everything. Last week. Or maybe 2 weeks ago. You said something. Something simple. Something you don't even remember. But someone in the family heard it. And something clicked. Something shifted. Something opened. And now? Now that person can't stop thinking about you. Can't stop talking about you. Can't stop hoping for you. They heard your voice, and something in their chest recognized you. Not your face. Not your name. But your soul. And that's the most dangerous thing of all. Because when a family member recognizes your soul before they recognize your face, that's when everything changes. That's when the walls come down. That's when the real conversation begins. Before you leave, there's one more piece. One more layer. One more truth that will make your heart ache with hope. You know that feeling you get sometimes? That feeling that you're being watched? That feeling that someone is thinking about you? That feeling that you're part of something bigger than yourself? That feeling is real. That feeling is them. They're holding you in their hearts. They're holding you in their prayers. They're holding you in their hopes. And they're waiting. Waiting for you to step forward. Waiting for you to claim your place. Waiting for you to show them who you really are. Not the version you think they want to see. But the version that's been inside you all along. The version that's brave enough to stay. The version that's strong enough to love. The version that's wise enough to know that this connection is not an accident. They're waiting. And their wait is almost over. The next part, the final part. It's where everything comes together. It's where the question is finally answered. It's where the family stops whispering and starts welcoming. But you have to be ready. Are you ready? This is it. This is the part where everything shifts. Where the whispers become words. Where the watching becomes reaching. Where their hearts finally open fully to you. But you need to understand something first. Something they haven't told you. Something they might never tell you directly. Because it's not their story to tell. It's yours. You see, this family has a secret. Not a dark one. Not a harmful one. But a secret nonetheless. A tradition. A way of knowing. A gift that runs through their bloodline. The ability to feel what's coming. To sense what's real. To recognize truth before it's spoken. And right now, that gift is telling them something extraordinary about you. Something that's making their hearts race. Something that's making their hands tremble. Something that's making them gather in kitchens and living rooms and speak in hushed, excited tones. They know. They know what you are to their child. They know what you will become to this family. They know the role you're meant to play. And they're not afraid. They're thrilled. But here's the part that will make your breath catch. They've seen you before. Not in person. Not in photographs. Not in any way that makes sense to the logical mind. They've seen you in dreams. In quiet moments. In flashes of intuition. They've seen your face in their mind's eye. They've heard your voice in their heart. They've felt your presence in rooms where you've never been. And they've been waiting. Waiting for you to arrive. Waiting for you to appear. Waiting for you to become real. And now you're here. And they're overwhelmed. Because you look exactly like they imagined. You sound exactly like they expected. You feel exactly like they knew you would. And that's why they're talking about you so much. Because you're not a stranger. You're a homecoming. One more layer. One more truth that will change how you see everything. Remember that quiet observer I told you about? The gatekeeper? The one who hasn't said anything about you? They're about to speak. And what they say will surprise everyone. Including themselves. Because they've been keeping something hidden. Something precious. Something they didn't even realize they were holding. A dream. A dream they had 3 nights before you met their child. In that dream, they saw a face. They saw a light. They saw a presence that felt like peace. And they wrote it down. Not because they thought it meant something. But because it felt too real to forget. Last night, they found that piece of paper. They read what they wrote. And they started crying. Because the face in the dream? It was yours. They recognized you. Not from a photograph. Not from a meeting. But from a dream that came true. And now they can't stop thinking about you. Can't stop praying for you. Can't stop hoping you'll stay. You might think this is too much. Too intense. Too quick. But here's the thing about souls. They don't wait. They don't hesitate. They don't follow timelines that make sense to the human mind. When a soul recognizes another soul, there's no going back. There's no pretending. There's no pretending this is anything less than what it is. And what is it? It's a calling. It's a coming together. It's a completion of something that started long before either of you were born. That's why the family is talking about you. That's why they can't stop. That's why their conversations always circle back to your name. Because they feel it too. They feel the rightness of you. They feel the inevitability of you. They feel the sacredness of you. And they want you to know. But here's the part that will make you pause. They're not just talking about you to celebrate. They're talking about you to prepare. Prepare for something. Prepare for a moment. Prepare for a choice that's coming sooner than you think. A choice that will require all the love in your heart. All the courage in your soul. All the faith in your spirit. They know this choice is coming. They can see it on the horizon. And they're talking about you because they want you to be ready. They want you to be strong. They want you to be sure. They want you to be certain about what you want. Because when that moment comes, there won't be time for doubt. There won't be room for fear. There won't be space for hesitation. There will only be you. And them. And a future that's waiting to be born. Let me tell you one more thing. Something that will stay with you long after this video ends. When families talk about someone the way this family talks about you, it's not casual. It's not random. It's not something they do with everyone. This is rare. This is precious. This is the kind of thing that only happens once. Maybe twice in a generation. They feel lucky. They feel blessed. They feel like something extraordinary is happening to them. And it is. It's you. You are the extraordinary thing happening to them. You are the answer they didn't know they were praying for. You are the gift they never expected to receive. And they know it. That's why they can't stop talking about you. That's why their voices get softer when they mention your name. That's why their eyes get brighter when they tell stories about you. You are not just someone their child loves. You are someone their family has been waiting for. For longer than you know. For longer than they know. For longer than anyone can explain. And now that you're here, they're going to hold on. They're going to fight. They're going to love you with everything they have. But first, they need to know one thing. One final thing. One thing that will determine everything. You've heard their whispers. You've felt their eyes. You've sensed their hope. But the question remains. Will you stay? Will you walk through this door? Will you become part of this story? The answer is already inside you. They can feel it. And they're waiting. They're waiting for you to say it. Not with words. But with actions. With presence. With choice. Because in the end, that's what all this talking is about. It's about whether you will choose them. As much as they've chosen you. You've made it this far. And something in your heart knows. The best is still coming. The part that will make everything click. The part that will answer the question you've been carrying since the very beginning. But before we go there, you need to hear something. Something the family has been too afraid to say. Something they've been protecting. Something that might change how you see everything. You see, there's a reason they're talking about you so much. A deeper reason. A reason that has nothing to do with you. And everything to do with them. They're scared. Not of you, but of how much they already love you. Because loving you means risking everything. Loving you means opening a door they can't close. Loving you means welcoming someone who could one day walk away. And that thought? It terrifies them. That's why they talk. That's why they ask questions. That's why they watch you so closely. They're trying to see if their hearts are safe with you. They're trying to see if their trust is well placed. They're trying to see if you're the kind of person who stays. And that's the key. That's the hidden truth behind every conversation. Every glance. Every question. They're not judging you. They're protecting themselves. Because once they let you in fully, there's no going back. Once they give you their whole hearts, they're yours forever. And they know that. They feel that. And it scares them. But something else is happening too. Something that's been building beneath the surface. Something that's about to break through. Last night, one of them had a dream. Not the gatekeeper this time. Someone else. Someone unexpected. Someone who hasn't said much about you at all. And in this dream, they saw you. Not just your face. Not just your presence. But your future. They saw what's coming for you. What's coming for their family. What's coming for everyone connected to this bond. And what they saw changed everything. Because they saw you standing at the center of something beautiful. Something powerful. Something that will touch more lives than you can imagine. They saw children. They saw gatherings. They saw years of shared joy and shared sorrow. They saw a family tree that branches wide because of you. They saw a legacy being built. And they woke up crying. Not from sadness. But from wonder. From awe. From the overwhelming feeling that something sacred is unfolding. And now? They can't stop talking about you. Because now they know. Not just with their minds. But with their souls. And that knowing, it changes everything. One more layer. One more truth they haven't told you. But they will. Soon. The family has been keeping a journal. Not a real journal. Not something written down. But a memory journal. A collection of moments. Every time you did something that touched their heart. Every time you showed them who you really are. Every time you proved that their hope was justified. They've been collecting these moments. Hoarding them. Treasure them. Because they want to remember. They want to hold on to the proof that you're real. That you're here. That you're theirs. And they want to tell you about it. One day. When the time is right. When the moment is perfect. They want to sit you down and tell you. We knew from the beginning. From the first time we heard about you. From the first time we saw your face. We knew. And you'll understand. You'll feel it in your chest. You'll feel the weight of all those hidden conversations. All those quiet observations. All those secret hopes. And you'll realize. They were never just talking about you. They were talking to you. To the part of you that already knew. To the part of you that already felt at home. To the part of you that always belonged. But here's the final piece. The piece that will make your heart soar. There's a date. A specific date that the family has circled in their hearts. A date they're all counting down to. A date they're all preparing for. On that date, something is going to happen. Something that will change the trajectory of everything. It's not a wedding. It's not a party. It's something quieter. Something deeper. Something more sacred. On that date, they're going to tell you everything. All of it. All the conversations. All the whispers. All the dreams. All the hope. They're going to lay it all at your feet. And they're going to ask you one question. The question they've been building toward since the very beginning. The question that holds the key to your future together. And when they ask it, when you hear those words, you'll know. You'll know why they were talking about you all this time. You'll know why you felt so seen. So held. So loved. You'll know why this journey was worth every moment of uncertainty. And you'll have a choice. The most important choice of your life. But don't worry. When that moment comes, you'll know exactly what to say. Because your heart has been preparing you for this. Your soul has been preparing you for this. The family has been preparing you for this. And the answer? It's already written inside you. Waiting. Ready. Perfect. Stay. Just a little longer. The final layer is almost here. And it's the most beautiful one yet.